What's going on, guys? Daddyscape here, and this is my quick guide to the Corrupt Gauntlet. I've added a map to the screen to show you which rooms to open. The ones with the arrows, we're not actually going to go into them, we're just going to open them to see what's there, to see if there's any other demi-bosses there. This will just mean that you'll have a direction to go after you've done your first run around the main room. What we need to collect is 3 of each material, 3 herbs, 2 or 3 weapon frames, 20 to 25 food, and 320 shards. If this video helps you, don't forget to drop a follow or a subscribe depending on where you're watching it. And without further ado, let's get to it. The demi-bosses that we'll need are the Dark Beast and the Dragon, because we're going to be making the Perfected Staff and the Perfected Bow only. So we're going to open the rooms up following the map on screen. And just collect as many materials as we can. Once you've got 3 of each, you can drop the tools to obtain them, because you won't need them anymore. Just opening up the rooms, you can see we get quite lucky here. We get both of what we need, some food. Ideally we want a full inventory when we go back to the main room. It just saves us having to get more stuff when we go back out and maybe having to do a 3rd trip. Using the tier 1 method, there shouldn't really be any issue with time. Once you're back in the middle room, drop all of your food on the floor, make yourself the attuned bow and whatever else you can with your spare shards, but make sure that you make the vials first, it's very important. You can also drop any of the spare materials you have for the armour on the floor to save space so we can bring more stuff back on our 2nd trip out. So now we have the bow, we can go back and kill both of the demi-bosses we found earlier, sweep around the rooms, collect some more food. I always make and decant my potions in between attacks on the bosses just to save a little time. Don't forget to use the teleport on your 2nd run around, it'll save you some time. Now we're back in the middle room, finish off making everything else you need to make, cook your food, corrupt some of your food just so you've got some combo eats, and then we're ready to fight the final boss. Hunter Jeff will do 4 attacks with range and then he will change to mage. Do 4 attacks with mage and then change back to range. You can see now that there's an animation every time he changes his attack style, so you don't even have to count. Every 5 hits that you do to Hunter Jeff, he will change his prayer, so all you have to do is switch between the bow and the staff accordingly to what he's praying. From time to time, Jeff will spit his dummy out and stamp his front 2 feet. This will cause tornadoes to spawn. You've just got to keep away from them. They can do big damage if they catch you. Try and maximise DPS by only eating when you need to, and only eating when you're running around the room avoiding the tornadoes. Make sure not to stand on any of the orange parts of the room, otherwise you'll take massive damage every game tick. As you can see, with the bow and the staff method, we can always be attacking Jeff. We don't need to worry about standing still when the tornadoes are spawned. We're not trying to be a fancy pants here, we're just trying to get Jeff down. gets down to 300 HP, we enter Grumpy Jeff phase. That's where there's 4 tornadoes and the floor lights up and switches around even faster. Keep your health high and just focus on staying alive rather than doing DPS, and wait for the tornadoes to finish if you have to. Even in tier 1 armour, we've barely used any food. It's more down to praying correctly and correct timing. And that's it. That's all you need to know on the tier 1 method to killing Hunter Jeff. Now all you need to do is put it into practice. If this video's helped you, please consider dropping a like. It'd really mean a lot to me.